All right, does everyone have their disclaimer that the recording is started? Good deal. All right.
Hey, Graham, before you start,
Yes.
my computer is doing an update and restart. I'll probably join in back on my computer in 5 or 10 minutes, but
Okay.
I'm here on my phone right now.
No worries. Yeah, not an issue. I will be the assignment for tonight, just in case you can't see my screen or you've got something else, I have posted on our modules for tonight for this class. So there's a little picture on there of essentially of the screen that you're going to see in a minute when we get into the actual assignment for the night. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen? It should just show a background right now with a little tent on it. And so we will go ahead and go to Revit 2022. All right, and I'm going to see if I can get this set up right again. I like being able to see all of you at once. It's a nice feature, but it's not always as easy as it should be. There it is. All right, cool. All right, can everyone see my screen? I've got Revit up right now. Cool. All right, I see all of your smiling faces. So if you remember 2 weeks ago, what did we do in our class? What did we build? You're muted, Kendall, if you're talking. Template, yeah. Right? Okay. So tonight we're going to utilize our template. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a new project. So let's go ahead. First thing we always do, we get out of the splash screen, right? So let's hit this back button. And let's go to File. And we're going to go to File, New. And we're going to create a new project. Okay. And typically in the past, we've just been seeing Imperial Construction Template, make sure it's a project and click OK. However, since we built a template last week, we're going to actually go and browse for our template and create a new project for tonight using our template. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to browse for it. So I'm going to browse. I'm going to, back to wherever your files live. Obviously, we all have different locations, but go to your, file folder for this class. And then you should find something that says construction 246 template and then underscore your name. And it should be a .rte, right? It's a Revit template. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And I'm going to go ahead and click open. And it'll bring me back to this screen right here. And I want to, again, just double check. You're creating a new project. You've browsed for the template file. It says construction 246, your name, template, and we're creating a new project, not a new project template. We already built that, right? We built that last week. Now we're utilizing it. So let's use the template up here, load the template in, and we're creating a new project. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And when you click OK, you'll notice it'll spin for a minute. And when we get here, we should recognize something that's fairly familiar, right? We now have a project browser that is cleaned up. Okay. We have our overall 3D view, and I don't know, whatever view you left off in is probably the view that'll come back up in the template. So it may not come up to here. It's wherever you last saved. But we should have, an overall 3D view, level 1, level 2, and our elevations. But you'll notice at the top, it says project 1, right? So what we've done is we've taken the properties from our template and brought them into this project. And so now we're going to save this project for tonight. So we'll do a file, save as, project, and then browse wherever you want it. And then here's tonight's 2022-02-14 Class. Okay, and you'll notice that it saves the project as an RV. Wait a second. Yeah, RVT, which is right, because a template is RTE, right? So it's an RVT for Revit, it's an RFA for Revit family, and it's an RTE for Revit template. Okay, that's a 3 different file extensions. So you'll notice it just says a .rvt, which is your normal project. Okay. So I'm going to quickly do a little example. We're going to draw a wall. We're going to draw a couple windows and dimension them. And then I'm going to let you guys go ahead and break out and get your brain working again and work on a little assignment on your own, right? Get yourself back in the Revit world. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and draw a wall. And right now I'm just going to draw a basic 8-inch. I give you, when we get to the assignment, I'll give you exactly what walls and windows and everything that needs to be on there. So right now I just want to draw a basic generic 8-inch wall, and I'm just going to draw it, I don't know, from left to right, and I don't care how long it is. Okay. So this is something like 100 feet. It can be something like 20 feet or 30 feet. I don't care. Doesn't matter what it is. The concept is the same. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, does everyone have a wall drawn? Cool. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some windows in, and we're just going to use the normal fixed 36 by 48. That's what you'll be using in your little project. And when you drop them in, okay, you'll notice that whatever side of the wall you're on, it will flip. See how this window wants to flip backwards and forwards depending on where my mouse is, right? If I'm on this side of the wall, it wants to put the glass on the, I guess if I'm on the north side of this wall, it wants to put the glass on the north side. If I'm on the south side, it wants to put the glass on the south, right? So let's go ahead and pretend that our exterior is to the north. So we want the glass on the north side. And let's go ahead and place 4 windows along here. Doesn't matter what the spacing is, just place 4 windows. And when you have 4, go ahead and click escape. All right. Has everyone got 4 windows or nope? We'll wait for a second.
Yeah, I'm getting this error code that says can't cut instance of 36 by 48 out of wall.
So your wall that you drew, okay. So when you drew a wall, let's go to your wall real quick. So let's just draw a brand new wall for you.
Oh, is it because it's a basic generic 8-inch wall?
No, that's what I'm using.
Oh, okay.
Where does your wall go from? Does it go from level 1 to level 2? Does it say it's 10 feet tall? If you click on it, you should see something.
Oh, yeah. So it says base offset is -10 feet.
So that's what's going on. So you're down low. So we need to go from level 1 to level 2.
So
that
draw
should be
the wall on level 2.
So are you drawing on your level 1 plan view, your floor plan?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this. Draw a brand new wall.
Okay.
So I'm just going to delete this all. If you guys have it, great. If not, then that you can do it again too. So we'll go up here to the tab, to the ribbon, right? And we'll click wall. And before you draw real quick, I want you to check what the properties are. Is it going from 0 offset on level 1 to a 0 offset on level 2?
So I've got a base offset of 0 and then a top offset of 0 again.
And then it says top constraint up to level 2.
I don't know how to open the little, it says some, yes, it does. Yes. Up to level 2. Yes.
Okay. So draw your wall again. Now that you've got those properties right.
Okay.
Hit escape a couple times and then go drop a window in and try that this time. Hopefully that'll work.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you were just, it was looking for a wall to drop it in, but it was dropping in that window at 3 feet high, and that wall was at negative 10 feet to 0. So it essentially was acting as a basement, and you're trying to put a window in on the first level. There was nothing for it to find.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put in 4 windows. Okay. And I don't care what the spacing is, we just want 4 windows on here. All right. So we're gonna go to our annotate tab. And we're gonna go to our align dimension, or DI on your keyboard. And we're gonna take a dimension from the center of each window. So one center, click the next center over, the next one over, and the final one. And go ahead and bring that dimension up, and then let's go ahead and set it. So remember, you click anywhere in the white space to set that. Does everyone have something that looks kind of like that? It doesn't matter what your dimensions are, but you should have something that looks like that. Okay. All right, here's the magic button. So architects love this button. I hate it personally, because then it can make my life, into fractions of a fraction of an inch, because architects like this. There is a lovely button right here that says EQ. And so this only happens right now when you're in a command. So if you're in your dimension command, right, and we just set it, it will appear as soon as you set it. It will also appear if you come back to the dimension and just click on the dimension, right? So as long as your dimension is highlighted and selected, and you've got properties on your dimension, it says, showing one dimension, that's what I got selected. This EQ button should show up. And what this button does is allows me to, with one click, evenly space all of those windows. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. So again, if you've got your windows like this, let's take our line dimension, take the dimension of all of them. And now if we want to make these equally spaced, you come up here and use this little equals button, and it will move. It will move all of the windows that aren't the end, right? So it'll move anything between the middle and evenly space it between the end windows. Does that make sense? Okay. So if I went ahead and took this one window and deleted it, now I've got 8'4" one way, and I've got 16'8" the other. What do I need to do if I want to center that back up?
Click and EQ.
Bingo. There you go. Right? Super simple, super easy. If you want these dimensions to actually show, okay? So right now, and this is why I was saying architects love this, because I could have a wall that is 7'2" and a quarter inches, and I could have 3 windows on there and hit the equally spaced button, and those windows are spaced 2'3" and 7 30/2 of an inch apart, right? It's not even increments. It's not. So is that great? Yes and no. But if you want to check your dimension after the fact, you can unclick this equals button once you've clicked it, and it will toggle back to just showing your normal dimension marks. Okay. Equals, unequals. And you can toggle between the two of them. Any questions with that? Seem pretty simple.
So Graham, can you lock in, like if you were to constrain one of those windows, like say I want this window 5 feet from the edge of this wall.
Okay,
and
hold up. You said you wanted this window 5 feet from the edge of this wall. Okay.
Right. And then you go use the other ones. Can you set, like, I want this to be equal to 8 foot spacing off center? That way, and you do that by constraining it from the outside of the wall, or how would you do that?
I'm not sure exactly I understand what you wanted right there.
Well, you're talking architectural, and because I've done other classes where I made machine parts.
Sure.
And I could see a benefit I don't know how it would work for architecture, so I don't know if that actually applies here. But on machine parts, if you said that it's no more than 5 feet from the edge, and then you started doing your numbers, it will allow you to kind of like place it. I think the tool in like SolidWorks or CATIA was like an array where you can get your spheres to just symmetrically go.
Sure. Yeah.
Because the architect likes that button because it makes everything look pretty.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily have a function. But as far as machine parts go, it could actually have a function. Is there some kind of use like that in architecture?
Absolutely. So we can take this, okay, and I can take this window right here and lock this in place. Okay, so I've locked this 4 feet away from here. Okay, so that means if I move this window 2 feet, this other one's going to have to go with me. Okay, so there's a lot of, there's all types of stuff you can do with locks and equals and just overall spacing and set it to, you can set it, make sure that you lock things in place that you don't want to move, and then you can move things that you do want to, right? So if I want those equal to each other, I could have those equal, but this one locked in place, right? So, and then if I move this one window, ready for this? So if I move this window and these are set to equal, okay, now I want this 5 feet apart, okay? So if I want this 5 feet from the edge of the wall, let's say I want this first window 5 feet from the edge of the wall, and these two are 4 feet apart. So if I move this 2 feet over, it will then leave these windows, this one where it's at, and move this one to maintain the equals distance spacing. So if I move this one over to 2 feet, it actually moved 1, 2, and 3 windows with that, right? Because it maintained equal spacing between these two, as well as maintaining the 5 foot spacing and then the locked 4 foot position between the two windows. So David, there's all types of stuff you can do.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull up my other screen. And here is the assignment for tonight. So, we got another person. Sweet. So if you go to your modules, and I'll see if I can bring this over. Yeah. So if you go to your modules, I'm going to leave it on my screen, but I will show you. It is right here as well. If you go to week, February 14th, 2022, 0214 class intro assignment, open that. Here is the same thing that we're looking at, right? So if you wanted to look at this on a different screen or whatnot, I don't care. You have this here for your use if you want it though. So it's located in tonight's module. That being said, do we have any quick questions before I let you loose and you guys start getting back into the groove of this? Okay, so like I said earlier, here are your, so I said that you would have the wall types and the windows and stuff laid out. So exterior wall is brick on metal stud. Interior wall is your little 1 hour partition, 4 7/8. Your exterior door, which is just this one, is going to be a 36 by 84. All of your interior doors will be a 30 by 80. And then we're just using one window type, that 36 by 48. Last but not least, for the most part, you will see if it's an interior wall, you're going to get dimensions interior to interior, right? So make sure you're using, if we dimension this and we want to, it wants to auto snap to the center of the wall, we can use our hover over the edge that we want to select and hit our tab button and select the inside of that wall. Same thing here, select the inside of that wall, right? And so you don't have to just measure from center to center. You can actually measure from inside to inside or inside to outside, whatever you need to do. So all of your interior wall dimensions should be inside to inside, and then your exterior dimensions are just center to center. Any questions? Pretty straightforward.
Are we good to delete what we just did?
Yeah, what you just did was just something so you could see how the equals button worked, right? Just something to throw a wall on there and start making yourself equal. So the one thing you'll notice, you may have multiple things that are equal. Just because it says equals doesn't mean that this string is equal to this string, right? It has the equals dimensions only referring to that dimension internal to the string. So this wall is equal between, or this window is equal between these two walls. This window is equal between those two walls. These two windows are equal between the center of those two walls, right? So like that spacing, even though it might look like it's roughly the same distance, doesn't actually maybe equal that, right? So if I take the equals off this and see, right, you can see that's 7, 7 1/4 spacing, and that's 6, 4 11/16. So I just want to leave it equals because that's, you know, nice and easy, but this equals doesn't mean that it equals anywhere else on the string, only that it equals the same spacing that's in that string. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna break out into breakout groups. I'll talk amongst yourself. If you got questions, if you got something you're stuck with or whatever, please reach out. Let me see if I can do this. And we're gonna do this. And okay, so go ahead. I'm gonna open all rooms. Go ahead and jump into either room 1 or room 2. And if you've got a question for me that's you know, specific and you need to share your screen and whatnot, you can jump into my room. And we will, let's say, we'll just shoot for maybe trying to get this complete at 7. It gives a half hour or so. If you're not complete at 7, let's not worry about it. We'll just get as far as we can, right? And we'll go from there. So I'm going to open all the rooms, and they're just open assignments. So go ahead and pick a room, one or two. And again, if you need to see me or if you've got questions about anything and want to share a screen, please don't hesitate and jump over to my room. If I'm helping somebody else, just hang out for a second and then I'll get to you. All right, cool. Opening all rooms. Hey, David.
Hey, I think I hit the wrong one. I'm still on my phone. I'm still on my phone. My computer's having problems, and I don't have a problem doing any of this. I understand.
You're good, man. I
we
know.
just
I know
want
you can
everything.
take it. You're good. So
Yeah, everything is just basically build it, dimension it, and then do the equals, right? That was the point of everything.
build it, dimension it, and then right. So dimension it, and then move anything that needs to be moved with a dimension, right?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and
Able
then
to do that real quick after class if I still can't get on. So as long as I get it turned in tonight, right?
Or tomorrow, I don't care, man. It's all good. You're fine. So
Yeah, no problem. I'll hop back in the main room or one of the breakouts, and I can help them out if they need it.
sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Huh?
resume the recording real quick. Okay, so now our recording is resumed. So we have this on our lecture because I stopped it for the breakout. So let's go ahead. We've placed the TV stand and the TV just anywhere in this room for now. Let's go ahead and dimension, like I said, from the inside of this wall to the center of the TV stand to the inside of your next wall. Set the dimension and go ahead and click your equals button to toggle it to equals distance spacing. Now, if I take this dimension, okay, well, oh, it looks like oh yeah, that's my other section line. So if I take this dimension and hit delete on it, you'll notice you'll get a message that comes up, okay? So the message is saying essentially that if I delete that dimension, that's fine, it won't be there, but this little piece, this TV stand is still going to be constrained to equal distance between the inside. So typically I won't delete dimensions, right? It's something that, or if I do delete the dimension, I'm going to unconstrain it as well. The reason being is I don't want to have a dimension that's deleted. So now when I'm taking this, right, and it's telling me that constraints aren't satisfied, but I don't have anything telling me that it's constrained, right? There's nothing telling me that that thing needs to be equal to that wall, right? So if you're going to have a dimension, or if you're going to have something set to equals distance, I would highly suggest leaving the equals dimension there, right? And that way you know, or if you want to get rid of it, that's fine. Just make sure you unconstrain it. Okay, so now it's just acting like a normal object. There's nothing locking it into place, right? So if the dimension's there to lock it in, if it's not, then you're free to move it just like normal. So, all right, last but not least, we'll do this last time. So inside edges of both walls, center of the TV stand, we're going to set that to equals distance. And then I'm going to go ahead and set the back of the TV stand 1 foot away from the face of this wall. Okay, so right now we've centered the TV stand in the opening, and then we've also left it a little bit off the wall, right, to keep, allow room behind there. Maybe we don't want it a full foot. Maybe we only want this 6 inches. So we can come back here, click the TV stand, type in 0 space 6, which is 0 feet 6 inches, or you can type in 6 inches, whatever you want to do. Okay, that looks a little better. You probably don't need a full foot, wasting some space. All right. So now, let's go ahead. Now that I've got this already centered, how do I want to center the TV? What command could we use to center that TV? You're muted, Kendall, if you were talking.
I just said, I know that we've done this. I don't know. I know that we need to pick it up and move back.
Okay. So.
The align tool.
The align tool, bingo. Same thing we did, Kendall, with your walls, right? Okay, so we're going to use align AL, or in the modify tab, it's this little guy right here, the align tool. And we're going to align to center of the TV stand. So you always click where you want to align first, and then what you want to align second, right? So you choose where you want it to go and then what you want to move. Okay, so we've now moved that in alignment there. I'm going to see. Now it doesn't have anything in the center here for me. Okay. However, it does have something here. So why don't we go ahead and use the face of this, and we're going to align the face of the TV stand to the face of the TV base. Okay. And we'll just put that there for now. Okay. Has everyone got a TV that's on top of their TV? Well, right now it looks like it's on top of the TV stand, right? Or it's in the same location. All right. So now let's go ahead and go. We've located the TV stand. We've located the TV. Now let's go look at it in profile view or in section view. So let's go to our section view. We can, again, right click and go to view, or we can come up here to the north-south view. And we'll notice that our TV is in the middle of our TV stand, right? We just used this command, right? What do we need to do to elevate that at this point?
Isn't there something in the little edit bar on the left?
Here?
Yeah, with the TV.
Okay, so we could do something there in properties. Okay, that's one option. Okay, what else do we got? Well, right now, so if I wanted to move this here, okay, that's fine. And I could move this to 5 feet, okay, and that would jump that to 5 feet. Or I could move it to 3 feet, and it would move it to 3. But in order for it to sit on the TV stand, I would then have to come and measure this TV stand, figure out the exact height of that TV stand, right? 1'7", 29 30/2 of an inch, right? So that's a lot more work than I want to do. Let's step back. What have we just used? What tool have we used?
Align.
Align. Thank you. Okay. That's simple. Okay. Same thing. Same thing we did here to align the TV on top of, in alignment with the TV stand. Now we'd use the same tool. We're just going to elevate it, right? So we'll use align. We'll pick the top of the TV stand as where we want to move. And then we pick, and you might need to hit tab to select the bottom of the TV stand, right? So see how that's just a little tiny blue line instead of the big whole reference plane. So if you use your tab and select that, and you can see that it says furniture TV flat screen 42-inch. I can go ahead and I've aligned. My first click was to the top of the TV stand. So the second click now is to the bottom of the TV. And it will jump that up on top of the TV stand. Everyone got that? All right, so I didn't have to come in here and measure this, right? Or Align is an amazing tool. I use it, Align, and it's probably my #1 used tool. I mean, realistically, you can align anything and rotate it and spin it and do whatever you need to. So what I would like to do now is I would like for you to practice this a little bit. So go ahead. And we're going to take a TV stand now from our project browser. Okay. And I want to take a TV stand. And I want to drop one TV stand in this room right here. Hit escape. And then I also want to drop in one TV right here. All right. Got that? Okay. So we're going to learn one more command today, and we've already used it, I believe. But the command we're going to use is the copy command. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to select both the TV and the TV stand. And I want to come up here to my ribbon and use this copy command. Now, there's 2 ways to copy things in Revit. There is copy to clipboard, which is like your typical Control-C, Control-V, right? Your copy and paste. And what that does, I can do Control-C, Control-V, but I'm just putting it wherever, like I can put it someplace, but I'm not moving it in a certain distance. I don't know exactly where I'm going to place that, right? If I choose select both of these, instead of using Control C or this copy to clipboard, and I actually use the copy command, the CO copy command, I now can copy it with a base point. So if I use this command here, I'll have both of these items selected, come up and hit the copy command. And now I'm actually going to choose a spot. And now it's going to copy from that exact location, right? So instead of it just trying to place it where you want to, now you've got a base point. So I want to go ahead, make sure that your multiple button is clicked up here, because you can copy multiple things at once, meaning that when I paste this, so if that multiple isn't checked and I paste this, I just paste that one time. If I want to paste another one, I got to copy it again. If the multiple is checked, I can go ahead and paste one set here, another set down here, another set down here, another set down here, right? So go ahead and give yourself, I don't know, 6 or 7 TV stands. Use your align tools to align the TV stand, the TV and the TV stand together. Take a look at it in section and elevate it above there. Okay, we're just going to do the same thing that we did here. We're just going to do it a bunch of times. And we're going to do it all in a couple shots. So let me know, give me a thumbs up when you've got something that looks like this, where we've got a few TV stands and a few TVs all lined up in this room. Okay. All right. So part of the align command has another checkbox to it. And you can, with that copy command we had, right, where I could copy this and there was this multiple button up here, right? And I could paste that multiple times. I've also got a multiple button with the align command. Okay. So this is pretty cool. What we're going to do, and we only need to do this for the TVs because the TV stands are probably all in alignment still, or vice versa. So what I want to do is I want to go to the modify tab and choose my align tool. And before I click anything else, I want to come up and click this multiple alignment button. Okay, right there, multiple alignment. Again, I'll hit escape, hit the align tool. It's multiple alignment button. If you click it once, it will default to your next alignments will be multiple alignments. If you typically, you just got to check and make sure if you're going to use it, make sure that the next time you use it, if you don't want it, that you turn it back off, because it will be there and you'll see in a second. So the cool thing about multiple alignment is it allows you to pick one base point. So I'm gonna choose the middle of this TV stand. Essentially, you can see that it now has a line right vertically through all the TV stands. And now I'm gonna go and choose the TV. Now, normally if I click the align, then I would click the TV. It would reset the command. Then I go click my align to start my new one, then click the TV and keep moving them backwards and forwards. And I'll show you that real quick. So align, move the TV, align, move the TV, right? Align, move the TV. So it's a couple extra clicks. With the multiple command, I can use align, multiple alignment, click the center of this TV stand, and now I have set my base point for all of the next alignments. So I can come now here quickly and just click the center of every single TV, and it's going to go ahead and pop it right in alignment with everything else. Make sense? Okay, multiple alignment, cool feature. Okay, so now we've aligned them all together, right? But we still probably have some type of an elevation issue, right? Because when we placed them originally, they both placed on the ground, right? Or at 0. So let's take our east-west section and bring that over. And again, we can utilize our view or depth clipping, our far clip offset. Make sure that you're seeing, we're seeing the TV stands, but we don't want to be seeing all the windows and everything, because then you're just, bringing a lot of the other stuff that you don't need to, right? So we just want to keep the cut of what we want to see just limited to directly in front of us, these TV stands and TVs. So let's go ahead and we can either go to that by going to the ribbon and going to your tab up here. If you've already got it open, you can right click and go to view. But ultimately, we now have all of these TVs that need to get on top of the TV stands, right? So one thing that I often find myself doing, so if I wanted to multiple align this, like we did before, I could do this and hit this top line. But every time I come down here, I'm having to tab in, right? I'm having to tab in and select that bottom of the TV stand because I got this reference plane down here, right? That it's auto trying to snap to. And then I've got to tab in and try to find the right TV stand. So let's do this a little differently. If you have something that's in the same plane, right, and you're constantly having to tab through it, we can go ahead and click on this TV. Let's go ahead and right click and select all instances visible in view. And it should select the rest of the TVs that are on there. And let's go ahead right now and just put this at 3 feet. Okay, I know we're elevating it too high. However, we've now put it away from this reference plane. So now when I go to align this, I set my one alignment to here, and it's going to auto snap to that line, right? I'm not having to tab through and try to deselect the reference plane because that's the only line that's nearby, right? So if you've got something that's got a reference plane that's, a level 1 plane that it's always trying to snap to, maybe it's easier to move them and realign that way. Does that make sense?
Sorry, could you do that? Move the elevation one more time?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went ahead and just selected, right clicked and selected all instances visible in view. Couple ways you can do this. You can use your move command and just click anywhere and move it, 5 feet away, right? You can just click them and drag them if you wanted to. Although if you just drag it, now it's moving it out of alignment, right? You don't have anything constraining it and holding it right into the center of that. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're not just dragging something around that you've already set an alignment to. So now that this is above here, I just used my align command, multiple alignment, and selected the top of the TV stand, which will set the plane that I want to align to. And then I'll click the bottom of each one of these TV stands, and it will automatically just snap to that alignment spot plane. That makes sense? That work for you, Stephanie?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. All right. So if we go to our 3D view now, we should see something that we've got a bunch of TVs sitting on TV stands, right? If you hold shift and your middle mouse wheel, you can rotate it, just kind of randomly. If you click an object and then hit shift in your mouse wheel, it will rotate around that object. Kind of a cool feature. You can also always use your view cube to reorient and set yourself into a perfect ISO view, right? Coming down from the top corners or whatever you want to have. So, but the biggest thing is now we were able to get that TV on top of the TV stand, right? All right, let's go ahead and do couple more things with our section tools, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. So let's go to our floor plan. And I would now want to take this north-south section and I want to bring this outside and I want to look at this south wall. Okay, so again, the section is viewing, the direction of the arrow. If you need to flip it the other way, you can use this flip tool to flip it. You can also right click and there's a flip section button there that if you need to flip it the other way, okay, you can do that. So we want to look from the outside of the south wall looking north. If I go to elevation view, you'll notice that I got a few windows in there, right? So with these windows, I can, maybe this one's in a different room and I want this to be elevated at 5 feet. Okay, so maybe I change that sill height to 5 feet. Okay. So in order to move anything in elevation, you can move it in plan view, but it's really hard to see what you're doing, right? I can move this one window right here, and technically it's now high enough up that it's not showing in here correctly. So I'm going to go here and go to wireframe, and still it's not showing correctly because my cut plane is at 4 feet. So when you're in plan view, you may be able to change the sill height here to 5 feet. That one's at 3 feet, but it's really hard to tell, like I was saying, right? It's hard to see what you're doing. If you're working in anything that has to deal with a movement in the Z direction, it's much easier to go to a section view and take a look at it in section. And then realize, that most of what you're looking at in Revit is all 2D views, right? It's all 2D views that make a 3D picture versus AutoCAD where you can utilize, a plan view, a side view, and we could tile this, right? And I could have a bunch of views open. But what is it? Shift T, Alt T. I can't remember. Anyhow, you could tile it, but realistically, you don't really work in the 3D view. It's always something that you just kind of use as a viewer. But working in the 3D view, working in this view in Navis, like if I tried to move this TV, how do I know where I'm moving that, right? Like you can drag that over, but in 3D, I don't know what I'm doing with it. And that's why you utilize the 2D plan view and then take a look in section view and you actually can get the 3D picture based on the two sections, right? So that either the plan or the section view. And then if you really want to check it out in 3D and make sure it's really nice and fancy and cool, that's when we export it to Navis and really start to take a look at it. So let's go ahead and set a few of your windows at some different elevations. Just play around with it. Maybe take a section view of the north side looking south and set a couple of those windows at a different elevation. Okay. If you want to throw in another family and try to put something on top of something else, by all means, you can, do that again. Really, I just want you to get comfortable using your section view and utilizing the section view to confirm and check your elevations, but to also manipulate your elevations, right? Does anyone have any questions? Is that enough for the day?
I do have one question.
Yes.
I was hoping I had it all figured out. For some reason, I'm having issues getting the doors properly spaced from the walls.
With the dimensions that I gave.
Yes.
Okay. You want to share your screen and we can take a look?
Sure. Okay. I got everything else good.
Nice.
And
Looks good.
now I'm having issues with these.
Okay, so what's your issue?
Obviously, I'm doing it wrong. So I thought I did it right, and then I realized I messed up my wall dimensions.
Okay, so remember, what do we want to move?
I want to move the door.
Okay, then go click the door.
Okay.
There you go.
That's it?
That's it.
Is that seriously my only hiccup here? Oh my God. And that's supposed to be 4, 6. Good.
There you go.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Remember, click what you want to move. Not
Hopefully I wasn't the only dumb one that could
No.
figure that out.
so then you've got one more door, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Now
after
that I get it. Okay, so the next one is 3.
and good. You caught that. I did throw a couple. One of them's off the back side of the door frame. The other one's centered off the door,
Mhm.
right? So
Yep. And then this one is 1, and this one is 4.
perfect. So yep, you just need to make sure you're selecting the right thing. That's all. It's
I don't know why I was in the selecting the walls mode. So I guess
well
that's
because you had moved the walls prior, right?
right.
So,
right.
yep. The biggest thing is if you're trying to move something, and that's something that you could do too. Like, let's say you did all the walls, right? And you set them, and you're 100% confident those walls are where they need to be. So we could do this, and this is something I'll share. I'll share my screen real quick. So let's say that I had all of these exterior walls exactly where I want them, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want any chance of moving that. Okay. I
Mhm.
can come up here and I can do what's called pin.
Oh,
I can actually pin that wall. So now that wall is pinned. So like I physically cannot move that wall anymore unless I went and unpinned it.
gotcha.
Okay. So there are, safe locks like that, right? If you find yourself, doing something that you shouldn't, and you're like, okay, I got this all set, go ahead and pin it, right? You can always unpin it and move it, but it just keeps you from accidentally moving it or selecting the wrong item or something. So most of all my links and all my backgrounds we bring in and we set them in the right spot and then we pin them, right? So that way nothing's moving in our model. So
All right, cool. Thank you.
any other questions? Anyone else want to share their screen? Got something you want to look at?
So I'm moving these windows around and now it's changing my, my EQ. Do you want us to set all the windows back?
I don't care.
Okay.
Now you're moving them around which way though?
Up and down.
And is it it's changing your equal distance?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I had to unconstrain my objects. They're all like right at the top of my wall.
No, but in plan view, does it still look right?
In plan view, it looks right, but now all of my measurements are off.
Share your screen, please.
Okay. I can't share while you're sharing.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I was. There you go.
It's all good.
I thought I clicked the stop share button.
Right, so I was just messing
Yep.
around with these ones,
Okay.
and now all of my, yeah, they're off.
So interesting. So I wonder if you.
So I did this, and I held down control.
Here's what happened. I'm sure that. So let's do this real quick. I just want to I just want to appease myself. Go back to level 1. Set all those windows equal distance on that wall.
On this one,
Yep.
so I can just click this and do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go back to that view.
This one? No, it was this one.
Okay, now click one of those windows and select all of them. So do a right click and select all in view. Select all instances visible in view. Okay, now that last, okay, we're catching two extras. So hold shift. And then now click and that will deselect that item. And then hold shift and click on the other one as well to the right. Yep. Okay, now I want you to change the elevation of that cell height to like, whoa. Why is your level 1 at 3'3"?
I don't know.
That's maybe what was going on earlier too. We might want to take a look at your template.
Okay.
But go ahead right now and just set that cell height in the properties to like, set it to 1'6". We'll just drop it 3 inches. Okay, now go back to your plan view. So
Okay.
they should be affected.
Yeah, they're not.
You must have moved it just slightly one way when you were grabbing something, because these were still equal on the inside, but
Yeah.
you were like, I bet you just shifted all 4 of those slightly to the right. So then it took the right and the bottom and the top dimensions, right, and added to the bottom and subtracted from the top. Right?
So the main thing here, when you're moving things that are equal distance, is that you want to do the select all visible in view when you move them, not select them all by holding control.
I mean that's a safer way than you accidentally grabbing and trying to move it by accident.
Okay.
Better yet, check this out. Let's go to your section view again. And I'll show you how to select these a different way. All right, hit escape. This is probably the easier way and the way that I would select them if I was going to do it. Go to the top left of your left window there. So of the group of the 4. So zoom into the 4
right
windows.
here?
Yep, right there. So go down just a hair. Now, you keep getting, you've got a section right there. There you go ahead and click right there. And click and hold and drag to your right and select all those, draw a window around all of those windows. There you go, perfect. Now you've selected them all without physically touching them and possibly moving them.
Okay, I got you.
Because
Thank
you didn't click them, you grabbed them with the selection.
Yeah.
So you couldn't physically move them because they were just coming into your selection. Whereas if you click them, you can accidentally bump it just a hair or whatnot. So
Gotcha. Thanks.
anything else? Anyone else got something they want to show before we call it? Okay.
So we're just taking a screenshot of this and submitting it for tonight.
Yep. Take a screenshot of what you got, submit it for the night. I will be providing, I'll give you guys a few more exercises. I was trying to get some done last week. I had them prepared. I had a couple, and then I had a computer crash and lost what I had, which was fun. And then when I did try to rebuild it, I got whisked away to children's again. So it was like, crap. So
Understandable.
I will post a couple more things. I think realistically, you're doing all right. I'm gonna hold another class, like I said. So I don't know if everyone was here and heard this, but I'm gonna go ahead. Next week is an optional. I will be holding an optional class. I will send out a link. I don't know if I can get it into the same link as this one, just because I already deleted that date. I don't know if I can add it back in. We'll see. But I'll hold a class next week for probably 2 hours or so. I know it's a holiday. You don't have to come if you don't want to, but if you want to get some extra help, you've got questions on something. And if not, then we'll just go through and you'll learn some more tricks and tips and cool things. So if you want to come, by all means, please join me. If you want to take a holiday, that's totally cool too. No issues with that. So, but I do want to give you some more instruction time because I know we did miss last week. So.
And FYI, the classwork assignment has no
hold up.
spot to submit.
Okay, good, perfect. Let me take care of that right now. Do modules. Classwork. Okay. Let's do this. Give you 2 points and submission online and then file upload. Save. All right, now you should be able to get in there and submit.
Do you want a screenshot? That's probably a dumb question. Do you want a screenshot of the entire thing or just a close up of what we made?
Just what you made. I don't care about seeing
Okay.
the window. I don't need to see your ribbon and your project browser and all of that.
Okay.
And with that, I'm going to call it for the night. If anyone's got anything they want to ask me, you can hang on. Otherwise, I will be sending out I'll send out a couple of extra credit assignment things, maybe just to keep you sharp. And maybe I'll try to get one out midweek and then maybe one towards the end of the week this week. And then if you want to show up next week, I will reach out via, Canvas or whatnot. I'll try to make the link the same if I can. If not, then I'll send out a different link with something. So, but yeah, it's optional class just to learn some more because we missed one last week. So.
Well, thank you. Good night.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you. And Mark, you can't find the video where we created the template. It's located on the Canvas in the modules section.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's in the modules. It's a link that will take you to, I think, YouTube for that class, just
Okay.
because it was a longer meeting.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Oh, you know what? That's why you can't see it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you can. Sorry if anyone didn't get the video, I completely apologize. Apparently I had uploaded it, but the button that said publish wasn't published. So you guys didn't see it until now. So thank you. Please,
Yeah,
if you don't
thank
see
you.
something, it's probably a button that I forgot to hit, or there's too many things in this stupid program. I just want to say access it. I don't want to tell it 15 things that
Yeah, I can see it now.
yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Right on.
Have a good night. Yeah, have a
Great.
good night.
Thank you. Have a great night.